Hello and welcome to Unlead Digital. My name is Cynthia Koech. On this channel, we train digital marketing and data protection. And on today's video, we continue with a series of content creation. And if you missed the other videos, you can check the description below. Today, we're going to discuss on the content creation process. Content creation process can be divided into 7 steps or 7 stages, and the first stage is planning. So during planning is when you identify your idea, your topic, your niche, and your purpose, and also your tone. So your idea, you can come up with an idea that you want to train. For example, at Unlead Digital, we train. So we came up with an idea that we train and what it is that you train. The second thing is your purpose. Do you want to generate short-term leads, or do you want to generate long-term leads, or do you want loyalty of customers? And as earlier discussed in the difference between copywriting and content creation or content, if you want to generate short-term leads, you can do copywriting and say you're selling something. But if you want to generate long-term leads, you do content creation. Also, if your purpose is to entertain, for example, you have to, or your target actually is kids, you have to be entertaining. You cannot have a very serious video or a very long video that is targeting kids. So it has to be short and it has to be entertaining. But if your purpose is to say train or to introduce a new brand into the market, that has to be serious and that has to be straight to the point. And also, apart from being straight to the point, it has to really be detailed and explain what it is that you're doing in the market. So planning is very crucial, and it does not matter if you do planning for a week or a month. At the end of the day, you have to bring this planning stage to the next stage. And the next stage of content creation is research. Whatever you do, you need to verify your facts. That is, you could use books, journals, or news to actually put out information that is factual and it's not rumors. For example, if you're introducing a brand, you do not necessarily have to say you're the leading brand in the market. There could be other brands that are leading. So you can maybe, for a start, say it's among the leading brand in the market. So when you get there, you can actually put it out there, because people actually have factual information on the ground. And if you give them information that is double guessed or it's not very true, people tend to not trust your content, or they actually lose trust, or you do not actually acquire the customer loyalty because you're not giving them information that is factual. So before you get to the next stage of content creation process, ensure you've done a thorough research. You can actually use actual people. You can test and ask for information from actual people. You do not necessarily have to use secondary information. So after you're done with the first stage, which was planning, and you've come up with a topic, and the second stage, you've done your research and you've verified that the information is true, you go to the third stage, which is drafting. So drafting, you have different combinations of things that you did your research and you were writing them down. They probably are in different materials, or they're in different books. So you combine them, and you can actually sometimes sleep over it before coming up with a final draft, because sometimes you sit on something or you sleep over it, and when you wake up you have a better idea and it's a final draft. Upon completion of the drafting and compilation of everything that was well researched, the next stage is review. So review, it could be self-review, could be a supervisory review, that is a supervisor is doing the review, or a client could be reviewing. So under self-review, you go through if it was an article that you were writing, you go through the article to ensure that the grammar is perfect, there's no plagiarism, and you could also have a checklist to ensure that whatever it is you intended to complete is completed. And under supervisory review, you have a supervisor do the review with you, tell you if they met the standard, the work is complete according to the stated steps or the stated standards. And finally, a client could actually give you also a review. You send them the draft and ask them if that is what they expected. They can actually give you corrections, or they say it's perfect. And if the work is perfect, you can also do your own touch up to ensure that everything is up and complete. After a review has been done and all the corrections have been made, you have to get an approval either by your client or supervisor, or yourself. You approve that the work has been done, and using the checklist you actually approve that this is complete. So upon approval, you do a final presentation. So this is where you come up with the last copy that actually can be posted to the world. If it was a video you were shooting, or it was a blog or a graphic, if everything has been done and it has been approved, you do a final presentation. You can do it to a board, or you can do it to a group of people that actually are interested in this particular content. So that is the final presentation. After you do your final presentation, it's important that you get a feedback. So the last stage is analysis and feedback. So analysis, for example, if you were posting a post, this particular graphic on Facebook, you get to see the engagements, you get to see the leads it generated, or the likes and shares, how many people were reached, and also the feedback. How does the client, or how does the other consumer that is actually not directly linked to you feel about this particular content? So this is where you get to either improve your content or continually promote the same particular content, because feedback is data. So this data is going to help you actually in your content strategy, or in marketing, or anything that you're going to do that is pertinent to content. In conclusion, we can have a real life example of what happens during the content creation stages. We use Unlead Digital, for example. During the content creation stages, we have the first stage is planning. So we have an idea of a topic that we want to discuss, and after we come up with a topic and it's agreed upon, we go to the next stage, which is research. So research, we use various both primary and secondary data to come up with an idea or opinions, or different opinions. So after coming up with different opinions, we do a draft. So we have different compiled things, or not actually compiled, we have different ideas that are not compiled. So we compile them to come up with the last one. After coming up with the last idea, we shoot a video, and now we can actually have the first take, the second take, or the third take, and we see which one is the best, or we just do self-approval. So after doing a final approval, we do a final presentation, which is uploading on YouTube. After uploading, we do the marketing, which is telling our clients that we have done, not our clients actually, our target audience, that the video they expected is out there, and if they viewed it, they can give us a feedback. Actually, feedback and analysis come together. So analysis, we get to see how many people were reached in this video, how did they feel about this video. So now that is the feedback. And their feedback, for example, could be if they felt like the audio was not very clear, or the video had not proper lighting. That information is very important for us, because it helps us do better in the next video. So those stages, they do not they actually repeat themselves over and over again, because in order for a stage to be complete, or a content creation stage to be complete, there are things that have to be met, and these conditions often at times repeat themselves. So in conclusion, it's important for a content creator to actually have, they can actually have more stages than us, or they can have less stages, but at the end of the day, there are things that have to be met, or there are conditions that have to be met before this content is out there in the market, and the client or the audience consumes it and feel like they can keep up with the content. Thank you for watching our video, and if you'd like to receive updates for when we post, kindly like and subscribe. See you in the next video as we continue with the series on content creation. Bye.